In this video, we're going to talk about the big takeaways in the newest update of Roblox Rivals. The guns that are nerfed, buffed. There is one particular item that just got freaking annihilated. So without further ado, let's talk about it. Hit that like, subscribe. So if you go in the top left and you can scroll, you have this big update list right here. And it has a huge list of all the freaking huge changes to weapons and such. So many of them. And we're going to talk about the first key takeaway is the AR and the burst can still be used at a pro level. So if you go over to here and you scroll down, we have the AR and the burst rifle. They did get hit with some nerfs, but it's nothing too dramatic because they have a critical hit multiplier that went down and then the damage drops off for both of them. Overall, you can still use the AR. I've played Arena multiple times. It's such a small enough map to where like you can still do damage. And if you're curious to see how much damage you can actually do from afar, if you go over to the shooting arena or whatever, they will have an idea where you stand like right here and it'll say like 25 studs. So like I'm still doing the same damage, 50 studs. See how it starts at 12.8, 11.7, 10.5, and then 8.1 like very far away. And then 175 is like 6.5. It's still viable because when you're firsting people in arena or you're like kind of up close to mid range, you're still going to do 11 to 13 damage. Which is still decent. It's not going to consistently do that 13 damage, but the AR is still part of the meta. It's not as good, and I'm glad they nerfed it a little bit because that was just super strong and that like far range on like crossroads, you just annihilate people. So it's good. It's good. It just balances everything out. So that's the first takeaway. The second takeaway is the Flamethrower got like the biggest buff in the whole game out of all the weapons. So if you go over here and you scroll down, literally everything is just a positive. Damage increased from 14 to 14.5. Reach increased from 24 studs to 27 studs. As you just saw when I was shooting with the AR, you can kind of get an idea of just 3 more studs can make a difference. Air blast self force increased by 50%, and then air blast cooldown reduced from 5 seconds to 4 seconds. So they literally, the Flamethrower just got the biggest thing. Is it good for pros? I haven't personally tried it out yet. I don't know if I would recommend it using it like in a 1v1 situation for pros, but for 3v3s to 5v5s, you might be able to have some fun with that. So that's the second takeaway. The third takeaway is the paintball gun is going to be used more, and because of that, it overall got a huge buff. It did get like a little bit of a nerf in some areas, but in a lot of areas, it got a freaking really good buff. So it says critical hit multiplier reduced from 1.5 to 1. So no, not as high on critical hits, but the damage increased from 18 to 20, and then the ammo reserve from 32 to 48. So you get an additional clip. You used to only have like 2 clips. Now you have 3 clips. That's a game changer. Reload time decreased from 4.2 to 3.15. So like basically a little over a second drop. And if you do the one trick where like when you get to the second bar and you switch, and you can save even more time. So that's nice. Then the damage dropped off, but they've been doing that with other weapons and such to make things equal. So I think the paintball gun is going to be used a lot more. People still do use it in a competitive sense with like if you go on 1v1s. But I think it'll be used more now because it's more viable. And with the AR being nerfed and such, I think they're going to balance each other out. I think the AR is going to be more like a 70%, maybe higher will still use the AR, but the paintball can still be a good option. Now we get into like the really bad nerfs. And the first one is the EXO Gun. The EXO Gun, very popular gun. A lot of people love it. It's really good. It defends against slings or against katana and such. But they did some pretty good nerfs to it. Couple of positives, but so the splash damage increased from 5 studs to 6.28. So that's good. Splash radius, you don't have to directly hit them to do damage. Direct hit does 25 to 28. Now that's good. That's good. But when someone's moving really quick, it's hard to directly hit someone with that unless they're standing still. The biggest thing that really tanked the EXO Gun is the splash damage reduced from 25 to 6. Because like you didn't have to be super precise with it. You just have to be like close to him, and you could do that 25 damage just by being close to him. And if there was multiple people around, you could hit them for like just a couple tags of 25 on each. But now it's only 6, so it literally tanked it by like 75% or something like that. And then the damage dropped off. So they really gave the EXO Gun a really nice smack in the face. Still can be used. I think what they're doing now is they're trying to like, a lot of the secondaries felt like primaries, just how strong they are. And I think they're trying to make it feel like a secondary where it's not as strong. And that leads me into my next key takeaway, is that Uzi just got destroyed again. The Uzi critical hit multiplier 1.5 to 1.25, damage reduced from 9 to 7, spread while aiming increased from 0 degrees to 3 degrees. Now has damage drop off, damage from 7 to 1.75 when traveling. So it got destroyed, like everything. It's the second time where the damage has been reduced, and then it used to have 32 bullets, now only has like 24 a couple updates ago. The Uzi was just pretty much a primary weapon that just complemented an AR. You know, it was just really good, and it's still viable, but you just need to rely a little bit more on AR and such, and don't you can't just necessarily as gung-ho with the Uzi now. It's just more supposed to supplement with your primary, which I think is good. You don't, when you have a primary, the primary is supposed to be your one that does most of the damage, and your secondary is supposed to be more of a supplement to kind of mix in well with it to help it, but not be on the same level as the primary. And I think they realized that, and now they're making it more feel like a secondary. So, because it used to be, or it was primary, secondary. It used to be just primary and primary with some of these weapons. You know, Uzi or EXO Gun is pretty much a primary, but now they're meshing it a lot better now. Key takeaway: handgun got heavily nerfed. I know a lot of people like to use the handgun. Multiplier went down 13 and 10. Damage drop off. Because if you had a really good fast trigger with that, and you're really you know, accurate with it, you could actually low key. That's like an underrated weapon. You could really just melt some people with that gun. It got a nice little nerf to it to help just supplement with so the balance between primary and secondary is better. Now we got the med kit. The med kit got nerfs pretty, not extraordinarily, but it got a decent nerf to it. It's heading in the right direction. I think it's fine with what they did. Healing is now canceled by taking damage. So if you're just trying to wrap it up, they do 1 damage to you. It resets. Quick heal amount decreased from 37.5 to 30. I think that's fair. Nothing too crazy. But yeah, they're just trying to equal things a lot now. And then we get to the last one. And this one got the biggest nerf out of all of them all. Worse than the Uzi. And that is for all the mobile players out there that are using aim assist, or I think controllers as well. And if we go down here, auto shoot no longer works while blinded. Auto shoot no longer shoots enemies through smoke clouds. Aim assist no longer works while blinded. Aim assist no longer tracks enemies through smoke clouds. Aim assist strength decreased by 25%. I think they realize. So people who just, who are on mobile and just said it's not a big deal that we have aim assist to that degree. The fact that they nerfed all of this shows them that aim assist was super strong. And it's still going to be at a good level. Even with this 25% and all this, it's still going to be at a good level. And even if you're worried, where is it at? I think what they're going to do with ranked mode, I don't know. I don't know if they're going to change it or not. But they might have ranked mode for only mobile players. So hopefully they do that. So if you're a mobile player and you're worried you're not going to do good on ranked, hopefully they separate them in 2 different modes. So it can be a little bit more fair that way. But yeah, they got tanked on that, which is nice because, dude, someone that aim assist was just ridiculous. If you just had a good phone and you could just track decently, oh brother, you know, you don't need a high-end PC. You can just melt people. So that is the big takeaways from here. If you guys want me to do a deep analysis of all of these assault rifle, burst rifle, all these weapons, and give you my analytical intake and such, should you use them or not, that kind of stuff, hit that subscribe, get it to 10 likes, and I will do a individual analysis. Probably be 10 to 20 minutes video, just really discussing it all to help you guys make smart choices when it comes to playing this game. So without further ado, you guys have a good one, and bye-bye.